The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm here in St. Louis, in studio with my mama.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God. Thanks for having me back.
I love having you on.
Oh my God.
It's fun to hang.
You're so sweet.
Podcasts are hangs, you know?
It's really fun.
Yeah, it's good. You're good at it. You're chill.
Well,
you're not
you're
trying
sweet.
anymore.
I'm not trying because
Yeah.
you get what you get.
You get what you get.
I just don't know what to say
That's
about that,
refreshing to people when you don't put on any kind of artifice.
I don't even know how to do that anymore.
Yeah. I've seen you put it on. You can put it on.
No, I really don't know. I don't get nervous anymore. It's
so great.
It's really.
I've knocked it out of you.
Thank you.
Because you used to get nervous and go, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
You stop the self-doubt thing of like, no one wants to hear me.
Well,
and I always just say, well, do we just trust me that I'm not doing this out of charity?
no, you've said that, and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful because
I'm
you're
glad
like,
that you're here.
do not question if I didn't think you were any good.
Yeah, I want to make things that are listenable. And
Yeah.
and if you held me back in any way and made me talk differently, I wouldn't like it for
Thank
my
you.
listeners.
Well, thanks for.
But I feel
thanks
more free.
This is great.
This is just great.
Oh my
Okay, so
God.
Mom's here. Things are going great over here. Brian Frangi's here. Noah's here. What's up, guys? How are you?
Podcast supporting comedians' mental health since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Without podcasts, there are so many comedian friends who would not know anything about each other
What would
or
they
hang
be
out ever.
doing? What
I
did
know,
comedians
what-
do before podcasts?
They got
don't
drunk
know.
at the bar after shows, but other than that, there were no hangs.
Yeah.
There were hangs. Well, I've talked to actually some
Not
comedians
during
about
the
this, that
day.
there were hangs after shows. Comedians don't hang out anymore. I guess in New York they're still doing it, but in LA there's not really that many hangs
No.
happening. And if there are, they only talk. We don't talk about jokes, which I've never liked really talking about jokes. Ever since I was like 5 years into comedy, I've just been like, let's stop.
Wait,
doing this.
and you give them away, right?
No, that's not. No one's stealing jokes. That's not a thing. You
It's not.
worry about that kind of stuff.
I kind of do.
Yeah, my mom hides jewelry because
No.
and forgets where she even hides it. She's like a squirrel.
Don't give her
Do you know that
secret.
squirrels like half the nuts they hide, they don't remember where
Is
they
that
put
right?
them? or
Yeah,
something
I
like that?
have found them in my garage.
Yeah, that's you. When you're looking for your jewels.
Yeah, where I'm looking.
You
Did I
find
put my
acorns
jewelry
instead?
in the garage? Weird.
Yeah. But now that they're not talking about jokes anymore. They're not talking about, they're just talking about algorithms. And I just don't I just can't take it or views or this guy's getting this. I mean, we've always been complaining about who's getting what and
What
why
a
aren't we
curse on
getting it.
humanity.
But yes,
Fucking
the views and the
algorithm,
algo.
social media. It's just a curse. We've
Do you
been
wanna know
cursed.
a thing I heard that on TikTok, because I was talking to someone who knows their way around this stuff.
Yeah.
If you have like a video that you've clipped that you've made for TikTok, right? And you're like, I'm going to put this on TikTok. It behooves you and the algorithm to then use the TikTok editing software within it. Like make your clip a little bit longer. So because TikTok will know if you used its software to edit and it likes videos that you are using the app to edit as opposed to
Okay.
using something else to edit. So put on a little extra time when you're editing the clip outside of TikTok, take it off within the TikTok app so that TikTok thinks, oh, they made this in here. And then they'll give it more views. And companies do this thing where everyone within a social media company that works for one, will, when they post for a client, they'll tell all of their employees, "Hey, comment on this post." Because if it gets lots of comments in the first 20 minutes, it will double the amount of views it gets.
Oh.
Fuck TikTok. I can't wait. I hope it gets banned.
Isn't it getting banned?
I disagree with Trump
I don't know
on
anything
this.
about the ban.
I don't even know how to
Congress
get on
passed
TikTok.
a ban to ban TikTok.
We gotta
Congress
keep
passed
you
a
off
bill to ban
Uh-huh.
TikTok
Well,
in,
why?
in
To
America.
ban
What's their
company
reasoning?
that
Because of
owns
Chinese?
it.
Yeah,
because of
Because they
Chinese.
spy on
Yeah, exactly.
Americans.
they're stealing your information.
Because
What
they're
about
afraid
that it's melting people's brains and making young girls kill
no
themselves
one
by the
gives
hundreds?
a shit
Well,
about
it's-
that. It's
I
all
think
about
it's that
China.
every day.
No, it's that too. It's because they trace all of the steps that you take on your phone and they start studying people.
Mhm.
And then it influences
What
them. I
about
think that's the
Instagram?
concern.
Are they not stealing data?
We can all
It's an
trust
American
Zuck. He's
company.
fine. He's an American,
He's an American.
He's a white-blooded American male, and we can
I
trust
thought
him.
they were banning TikTok because
all
I'm
about the
so
Chinese.
naive. I thought it was because they are concerned about people's mental health.
no, they're
They're not.
they're
No,
Well,
it
worried
really-
the Chinese
That's
are
when I
getting your
believed that
information.
IKEA was cutting their costs because they cared about the consumer.
Congress
having
was
to-
upset that Matt Rife
I'm
blew
just-
up so much, and so they said we have to do something about this.
It's why is this an issue now? Like, wasn't this the big issue when it first came out? Everyone was like the
They've
Chinese,
tried
and then we
to
were like,
ban it
it's not. It's
before.
fine. We don't care. It's too entertaining.
Well, it's legally perilous to say that a company must divest, like the government forcing a company to divest. But the argument is that the ByteDance, which owns TikTok, is going to sell all of or give all of Americans' data to the Chinese government upon request because they can't say no because they're a Chinese company under the brutal Chinese regime, and they're going to use that information to spread propaganda and
Don't they
influence
already have all
elections
the data they've gotten so far? Like, even if we banned it right now, it just means not more data. It doesn't mean they have to give back the data they've already collected, right? Don't they have enough? They'd be like, yeah, we're good. We're full.
So far, they said that they're not giving up any data to the government, but that's
But I
what
mean,
they
like, if
say.
we banned it right now and then the Chinese
There's
sold
still
the
people
company, they would
who
still
don't
all
have
the-
it. Like, I
Right.
don't have TikTok, so like they would still want my information.
I know, but they're not
There's
going to
always
get
more.
it. You're not going on anytime soon.
No,
like, I
if-
feel like everyone who's on TikTok is on it, except young kids will keep.
I'm not
being
on it.
added. Yeah, I'm not on it.
Oh,
I
right,
mean, I'm
the
on
young
it, but
kids. That's what it is. New customers.
doesn't
New
everyone know the world is
information.
ending in like 20 years
Nikki,
anyway? So who cares
Could
how
you
it all
not
goes
quit
down?
saying that.
Would you not quit saying it?
I
Because
mean-
I'm not going to quit. I just think it's so insane that anyone thinks things are going to be okay.
Mhm.
There's hope.
Where?
You just have to have that hope. It's like faith. You just have to have
So
hope.
blind hope
Blind hope.
with no science behind it,
Yep.
except all the science is really just
People
horrible.
have
There's
always
no-
thought that though, like for so
that's what people
many
say. Yeah,
years.
but I go, someone's got to be right at some point, and also, like someone will be right. We're not going to be around forever. But things seem really. I mean, I haven't been around when people said it before, but it doesn't seem.
Well, it's
We
also
don't have winters anymore, everyone.
yeah, but that's fine. It's incredibly
seems to be-
narcissistic to think that we're the ones that are going to experience the apocalypse. Like, why are we
someone's
so
gonna
special?
be right.
It's probably not going to be us. It's probably going to be a few generations from now. I mean, we might have like, oh no, it's a little hot in New York in October. and
Well, we're
that
already
sucks.
there.
Yeah,
It is
so
hot
we're going to
in
have
October
that. We're
in
going to
New
be
York.
uncomfortable, but that's not the
Right.
apocalypse.
All right. I just
I
know
think it's
that
gonna be-
my building did not have hot water last week, and I got a little taste of what's
The
to
whole
come.
building?
Yeah, for a couple days. And I was just like, what would this be like?
You mean everyone
But you know
doesn't
what?
have their own water heater in this building?
Are you being facetious?
No, I'm being serious.
I
That's-
guess not.
Sounds crazy that one big tank is taking.
I guess so. Something was going on with it, so we didn't have hot water, which I did not care about. I was very understanding about. Things happen.
How'd
Whose
you
fault
deal
is
with it?
Did you
I
do
just
cold
didn't take a shower.
No shower.
Yeah, and I
You
just
didn't do sink shower?
I did a little of that, but I think
You
it was
didn't
only,
boil
maybe it was
water?
just one day because it was. Yeah, I just didn't care. I was just going to be stinky for one day. And I've discovered this new deodorant that makes you truly odorless. It's natural. It's called Purely Great. Chris discovered it.
Wow.
Purely Great. It's
Write
in a
that
little
down.
jar. You can get it on Amazon. Purely Great. It's charcoal. And you have to,
Oh, okay.
it comes with a ladle, and you have to put the ladle in and you stir it, and then you put it on your armpit, and then you have to rub it in with your fingers. But I'm not joking you.
It doesn't stain your clothes.
Odorless.
Yeah.
You don't stink for like 2 days.
I don't trust that.
Wow.
I don't
It's-
trust
but
the
it's-
charcoal trend. I don't get why.
You're trying to ban
we-
it?
I would think that that Biden should ban charcoal. There's like charcoal soap now. There's charcoal shampoo.
Toothpaste.
Why all of a sudden are we like, oh, charcoal's
yeah.
safe for you? It's black. I
Is
don't
it
trust
real
that.
charcoal like from the grill or is it something else?
Well, it's
It's-
better than aluminum, which has been proven to cause cancer in your armpits. Like it's at
Yes,
least
well,
it's
we just haven't done
natural.
the studies. We haven't done this. Aluminum's
Jesus Christ.
natural. It's a periodic element.
Well, I was talking to someone this weekend about smoking weed and how we used to just smoke it out of pens and
Oh, God.
thing.
Pipes.
sugar-free RedBull cans, and you would just light aluminum on fire and then
Oh.
breathe
Yeah.
in, or a Bic pen, just light it on fire and then breathe in.
Is there
Even during
aluminum
COVID, I was
in that?
smoking. No, but there's plastic. Do you think anyone
Oh,
should
okay.
burn plastic and then inhale it?
No.
deeply. Like,
No.
it's just so insane that we did
Definitively,
this.
she says no.
And then
I mean, no.
over COVID, I was smoking out of this like rubber pipe that I got from Amazon because life was going
I
great for
remember
me.
those rubber
You know the
pipes.
green one?
That green one.
Yeah.
you used to
Don't
leave.
use that if you ever find it in your house.
Okay.
Because I left it there, but it is.
I don't know.
That's
where that would
rubber.
be.
You're burning plastic
Yeah.
and you're breathing. But I got it because I was like, I'm just tired of breaking things.
Oh, yeah.
And it could tip over. And I'm just a clumsy person, so things are always shattering. But yeah, I just got like, but I've told the story before, but I smoked weed with someone out of a sugar-free Red Bull can on the road.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I 8 years later, this person is a comedian that I ran into later, and I was like, oh my God, remember when we smoked weed out of a Red Bull can? You showed me that trick. I was like, that is so crazy we did that. We were inhaling aluminum. And he goes, I still do.
Oh.
I have one with me tonight. And he goes, and I go, oh, he goes, actually, I can't not smoke weed without a Red Bull can. It's like, it's the
Oh
only
my
way. And I go,
God.
well,
That's
you're
hilarious.
addicted to aluminum now.
Yeah.
He's like, I get
Whoa.
headaches if I don't smoke it out of aluminum.
Wow.
Well, he didn't
My
say that,
God,
but I'm
but-
like, the fact that he's 8 years later an adult man.
I thought you were going to say he came down with something very serious.
I mean, he probably will eventually.
Oh.
You can't be smoking. You can't be lighting aluminum on fire and breathing it in.
I
That's
didn't
just
even know
insane.
about that, to be honest.
What do you mean? It's not that you didn't know. You know. You just didn't think. It's
No,
like you
I
just
don't know
didn't-
about aluminum.
But you would think that lighting aluminum on fire and breathing in that would be good.
I just never thought about it, to be honest.
But that's what I'm saying. You know that breathing. You would say if
Sure.
would you have kids go hang out by an aluminum burning?
No,
and,
I would not, but I
Downwind
just
from that, that would be
haven't-
toxic.
thought about the aluminum part of the whole thing.
Julie
What
would
about
be
the
great.
Illuminati?
Julie would be great in a deposition. She is taking
Yeah.
these questions. I don't know anything about that. Nope, never heard of aluminum.
I
Well, I
plead
never
the fifth on
thought
this.
it.
I really never.
I don't think I knew it, but I thought it.
I never even thought.
Well,
that
that's
I
the
thought
fun.
it.
That's what I'm. Well, that's why it's humorous. Is that we were doing this
Oh.
without thinking at all.
Still.
And if you think about it even a little bit, it's horrifying. Even lighting glass on fire
I
or a
can
glass
taste
pipe.
this already, like
What?
aluminum in my mouth, just thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're a one.
What?
Remember
Oh,
Enneagram 1? I'm just saying that you're a one. That has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, that's right.
I've become so.
saying
No,
obsessed
I'm
with
a
Enneagram.
3.
No, I was a 3. I am a 3.
Wait.
You're a 1.
I'm a 1?
Yeah.
I thought I was a 3. I was looking at the results. I'm going, I told you, this isn't me.
Right. 1. You're a 1.
I thought I was a
Oh.
3.
Yeah.
Oh,
For the
this makes
That
last
makes
2
more
weeks,
sense.
Julie's been
Oh
going
my
around
God.
acting like a 3.
I've been acting like a 3. Well, I've been mad. I'm like,
Oh my
that's not
God.
me.
Just like a 1. Because you ones want things to be right and correct. It's this and it's this. It's black and white. This is wrong and this is right. And
Wow, that's
and another
really-
thing about ones,
What?
you don't get mad.
I'm gonna get
because
mad.
you
I
can't.
can feel
even
it.
though I know ones are gonna get mad at this.
This is what a 1 does.
You can't admit you're wrong.
Oh.
It's really impossible for you to admit that you have made an error at some point.
Whoa.
And when you are faced with it, where it's like very obvious, where you're in a car accident and like, let's say you were texting, so it's like obvious to you that you did something wrong.
What am I going to do? I'm going to
Can't
try.
fucking handle it. You go into a depression. So if in your life, whenever you've been really sad, it's and this is me talking. I've read like one infographic about you.
Oh.
So this is me just, I don't know what I'm talking about really, but I think that ones, when they are faced with actually having done something wrong and there's proof behind it and they can't deny it and
Yeah.
they can't, avoid it, they
Yes.
can't, they really suffer
Okay.
because to them, they want to be perfect.
Okay.
For me, what's important for 3s
I feel like that's not me either.
well, see, this is you being a 1. That's not me.
See,
that
even-
can't be true. But
Classic.
I'm never wrong. Wait, when was the last time you were wrong?
I've been wrong a lot.
Okay, let's name one.
I might have done something. Even today, I was talking to your dad. We were taking a walk, and he was like, said something, and I was like, because usually we argue the whole way. Our neighbors must think we are
Falling apart.
falling apart.
Yeah.
because we're kind of arguing every step of the way.
About
of the
what?
walk. Just about everything. He's just says something, and it's bugging me.
Well, Dad, the other night,
And then
Poor dad. We just we go on this podcast and we.
I said he better not listen because he's going to get hurt.
No, the other night we went out to dinner and dad could not find his dish on the menu. This restaurant, they changed restaurants, they changed locations. They got a new menu and my dad's like, did you guys get new menus? And the guy's like, yes, there's a redesign of the menu, but it's all the same stuff. Is what the man said, but it was
Sounds
in
like a lie.
maybe. No, I think it was true. He just didn't really speak
And
good
they raised their
English.
prices. Trust me.
Oh, well, we do. No one was questioning that. Whenever we go to dinner, I'm just like, Mom. She goes, well, this $17.99 for that. And I go, I'm buying. Don't look at the prices. It doesn't matter. Get what you want. But you can't help yourself.
I can't help myself. I
You
got to
love
look
a
at
price.
prices.
But Dad was couldn't find his dish on the menu. And the waiter came over, and we had already been looking for 15 minutes. Dad can't even be involved in conversation because he is so desperately trying to find this thing. He's like, I know it had snap peas. And I go, let's try to say what you remember. Did it have rice on the side, or were there noodles in it? Because that's that's an easy way to distinguish where on the menu it would be. And he's like, it was rice on the side. So then we go to that section. I'm like, pretty much, Dad, you can make anything you want here. Just say the vegetables you want, say the meat you want, say the kind of sauce, and boom, you got it.
Right.
But he was very angry that he couldn't find it. And then the waiter came over after 15 minutes of him already looking and not finding it. And I'm just like, we got to go. So I ordered, you ordered, and then it gets to Dad, and Dad's like, well, I'm looking for this thing. And then we go, well, you're just going to have to come up with something else. And Dad goes, hold on, I'm gonna find it. Keeps looking for it. And I was just like, we gotta go, Dad.
What number is he? We got to give him the test.
Oh, well, I sent you the test the other night because I
know.
wanted you to
we
do
just
it.
haven't gotten to it.
It's okay. You guys are so busy arguing
Fighting.
throughout the neighborhood. All right, we'll be back with more show after this. And we're back. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So we, what are you arguing about throughout the neighborhood?
Anything. I just don't want to hear anything negative about this guy's lawn. He sprays for sure. You know.
Dad is an environmentalist.
Yeah,
and is
and
very conscious of this
Yeah.
guy's just leaving his car running.
Oh God, that's
if you leave your car running and
Yeah.
you're just sitting in your car and it's running, I just want you to know that somewhere my dad has a pain in his neck because you are doing that. He
Exactly.
can sense it.
He's gonna say something to me for sure, and he might give a little grimace to the person in the car.
He'll say
Yeah.
something.
I
He'll
feel like
say
most
something
dads
under his
are
breath.
pro leave the car running. Most dads are like, you gotta warm it up. You can't just start it and
God,
drive.
no.
Boy, no,
Don't you dare try to warm that car up before you get in.
No, that is
Wow.
just burning
No.
fossil fuels. And as a kid, one of my earliest memories is Dad saying, if you leave a lamp on, just picture a smokestack pouring pollution into
Right.
the air because you
Yeah.
left that lamp on. Otherwise, there would be no smoke coming out of that smokestack because you were too lazy to go over and switch off that thing. A bird is now going to fly through the smoke and start coughing and crying and
Right.
die.
Wow. And
He
that's
didn't say
your
that part,
fault.
but that's and that's my fault.
But this is our neighborhood walk because everyone in our neighborhood lives in a McMansion but us because they're all knocked down houses, but ours didn't get knocked down. And they
So you
all
guys-
have perfect lawns. I mean, because they get spray on them.
Yeah.
And
Dad can't handle it.
he went
The
he-
runoff to the streams.
Well, he did go. He ordered flyers to go on the doors.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Ordered flyers to go on everybody's door. So I mean,
Wait, he's gonna go flyer the
he's gonna,
neighborhood?
He was going to do that. They're still sitting in his drawer.
The thing is, he doesn't understand that just makes people want to
Oh
put
my
more
God,
Miracle
we
Grow
would
down.
be lambasted in the
Well,
neighborhood.
what about the sign Dad wants to get?
Uh-oh.
Can we talk?
Another one.
Brian, I don't think you can handle this. Noah, I know you can't. I don't think anyone can. I can't handle this, and I am quite a little I want to stir shit up.
Right.
Passive aggressively. I
Right.
love a passive aggressive. I'm calling you out bumper sticker that lights people up when they know they're being called out, but that you're not exactly saying it to them. I'm a little passive aggressive bitch, but Dad
He wants to put up a sign that says Happy St. Patrick's Day.
I want you to guess what my dad
No.
wants to put up a sign about. And we're not going to get political beyond this, but just, where my dad stands politically from this conversation. What do you think my dad wants to put on a sign? What is the most inflammatory thing you could possibly write on a sign? And let me just say that in my neighborhood, there was a house of Trump voters that put up, in 4 years
a
ago.
banner across their
A
whole
huge banner
house.
that said, what did it say?
It said
no
Trump.
more bullshit.
Oh yeah,
So
that.
Oh yeah, that was
So
one
the
too.
neighborhood is okay with profanity on signs and like
Yes.
and uncomfortable words on signs. So
Right.
what do you think my dad wants to get if it said Trump is blank? Blank blank. What do you think my dad wants to put up a sign in his front yard that says Trump is a blank?
Raging homosexual.
Oh,
Well, you got the right word
got the
right.
first two letters
the first
right.
two right.
Raging lunatic.
Rapist.
Oh,
Rapist.
rapist.
Trump is a rapist. He wants to have that in our front yard. And I
he's
said,
adamant about
do
it.
you want the
guys.
house to get burned down? Do you guys want to be a teardown?
No,
Because
Yeah,
you'll be
exactly.
you'll have a McMansion.
Exactly. I know. I'm like, you cannot do that.
It's so
He's setting himself up
incendiary.
for-
It would
Yeah.
be
I kinda
better
love
if
it.
he
Incendiary.
took that sign and put it on other people's lawns.
Yeah, I mean, it
Oh,
would
that's
be,
the
interesting.
flyers are.
It's not going to prove.
yeah, they would know who we put that
it's
there.
just. I really like it. When Dad told me that he wanted to do that, he's not going to, but it made me feel
Oh.
like Dad takes after me a little bit. Like Dad's learned something.
if I
from
would
me.
say go ahead, he'd be, oh, thank God.
Mm.
He would order
it's
it.
so insane.
He would just
Can't
order
even
it.
believe it.
Anyway.
He's anti-Trump, right?
I'm not letting him
no,
do it.
he's celebrating this. He wants people to know.
He wants
Listen,
everyone
this guy
to know this is terrific.
what he
you
wants.
you can do what you want.
So that's I couldn't even.
No.
I asked for Dad's Trump thought of the day like I used to a couple weeks ago, and
Don't
he,
ask anymore.
and he told me that, and I couldn't post it on my stories because I was like, I don't want to get
you will be.
flagged.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
for something. This is too scary to me. But Dad's insane.
We're not doing it.
And I
we
love it.
can't do it.
No, you're not going to. You absolutely
No,
cannot do that.
I care for my home.
I care for your safety. I care
Yeah.
for those jewels that are hidden that you'll never find even after you
They'll burn down.
Yeah, I might find them. If, yeah.
So the
Anyway.
best thing happened to me this morning ever, and I think everyone can agree that this is the greatest when this happens. So
Yes.
I'm trying out new like workouts around my area because now I'm fit and I feel like I can finally like enter into places where there's classes because now I can like not be the worst one in there.
Wow.
So I signed up for this place near me. I'm not going to say the name of it. I probably will at some point, but I signed up for an 8 a.m. class, which who made
Go,
that
girl,
decision?
get up and get going.
There's something in me that when I make a plan to go to a workout class later in the week, it's because it's most likely I'll go. There's an 80% chance I'll go, so it means I've done it. There's like an achievement in setting the calendar to do it.
Okay.
So I did that. I woke up at 7, ate breakfast, really bleary eyed. I'm like, I don't even have time to get coffee. By the time I was ready to go, I was like, I'm just going down. I went down. It's within walking of my building. So I
my
walk
God.
in at 7:59, boom, ready to go. I'm new. It's my first time here. And she was like, oh, then you got an email telling you need to come like 20 minutes early to learn the equipment. And I go, oh, I'm so sorry. I do know that I need to do that. Why didn't I think of that? I'm so sorry. And she goes, oh, well, maybe we can. And I go, I should probably come back another time, right? And she was like, yeah.
Oh.
And so I didn't have to work out because
Wow.
even though
You
I
weren't
I
ready.
would have.
And you showed up, so
Yeah.
it's not like you made
Wow,
them
you get
go
points.
in for you and then you were a no-show.
Yes. And so she was really kind and was like, and I won't charge you for this one because I bought 3 sessions for $50
Oh.
that I have to do within 2 weeks period.
Whoa.
Good deal.
Yeah, you bet you are.
But she
yeah.
said, well, we won't take that class off your. She was like, you're good.
Wow.
We'll throw it back on. And I was like, that is so nice. So I triumphantly didn't have to go to a class that I thought I would have to go to.
But
and
what is it?
it's like Pilates, but like hard.
Oh.
It's a class where it's like it's a well, let me tell you, I went to another class last night because I am experimenting. I went to my first Orange Theory.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Brian, have you been?
No, never to Orange Theory, but
Do you know about it?
Yeah, isn't the theory that he's a rapist?
Isn't your dad putting a sign on his lawn?
That's my dad's
That
Orange
is
Theory.
really good, Brian. That's his. Yeah, that's his theory.
I did not know much about this class. I walk by it all the time because there's one near my apartment. And I see people coming in and out and looking really triumphant, and like there's like a camaraderie I sense going on in there. So I just was like, I signed up for it, and I went last night, and I got there early enough to like learn the basics. They were so nice. They So what you do is you put an armband on and it does your heart rate. And then throughout the class, you're on a screen with a bunch of other people and their heart rates are up and their calories and their levels of energy, the percentage of energy that is. So you're trying to get in this zone, the orange zone, which is why it's Orange Theory.
Oh.
And now there's also a red zone.
Okay.
And so you always want to be.
You don't want to be in the red zone.
The red zone is when you're. No, you want to be in it a little bit, but then you want to go back down to the orange.
It's too much exertion. Red zone.
No, red zone is good. It's like when you're doing sprints, but you shouldn't stay there.
Your
Yeah.
heart's racing.
And where you're
too
going to
hard.
burn fat, based on their theory, is like in the orange zone where you're recovering out of the red zone, but you're not totally like just limp. You know, like you're still giving effort. We all know this, like interval training and stuff. So maybe we don't all know this, but
Sure.
3 out of 4 of us know this. And so but it's so fucking confusing. Orange Theory. I went there in time, but it was just there's too much going on. But I will say that if you are someone who is looking for community, is looking for friends, is looking to have enthusiasm in their life and goal setting and mild competitiveness with like a flirty theater camp vibe, Orange Theory is for you. If you went to theater camp and you don't do theater anymore, but you miss that dorky camaraderie that you got from doing
My
theater,
God.
it is so, which I loved.
It's
I
a
loved
good
that part of
thing
theater.
you're saying, right?
I was a dork. Like, I'm a dork now. Being a Swiftie is kind of being a dork. Like, just being obsessed with something and like having the secret language. Like, you're a dork, and I mean that lovingly.
Wow.
But Orange Theory
think
is
that
for people
happens
trying
in
to
a
seek
lot of-
that out.
Like in a lot of group workout or like some kind of like gym stuff. I know it happens in jujitsu, and I feel like it probably happens in CrossFit a lot.
Yes, it felt like CrossFit to me. I don't know anything about CrossFit, but it felt like that's the closest I felt to it, of this like group of people who all kind of knew each other. There was like a challenge yesterday to do the mile run, who could do it the fastest, and everyone was supportive, but like there was a kind of a competition going on between two guys that I could see that I thought was very interesting. And then
Background.
but there was a lot of like go and support, and like if I was someone who lacked friends and felt like that I spent too much time alone and I didn't have a community, I would have 100% be so into Orange Theory.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you on a treadmill trying to?
So it's treadmill, it's floor weights, and it's rowing machine.
Okay.
So you just
Oh.
jump from one to the other, and they kind of
Oh, I
instruct
love
you as you
that.
go what to do, and you run around. My problem is, I have been training with Pilates with an instructor who are like some of the best instructors in the world. They've trained all over the world to come back to St. Louis to open the premier Pilates gym. And it is, and I forget the name of it now. Why do I always forget what it's called? Pilates Lab. Sorry. I know they're listening. Pilates Lab is, they don't give me a discount. This is not a paid advertisement, but Pilates Lab is like, they do classical Pilates. So it is like the way Joseph Pilates designed it. And my body is being studied constantly. If I'm doing a rep of anything, it's like, okay, well, you need to suck in your abs. Now, your big toe, put your big toe down. Like, can you imagine a workout where people are
Wow.
assessing your pinky toe is not in the place it should be
Wow.
when you're doing an arm workout? This is the level of precision and detail that I'm learning in Pilates. So I go over to Orange Theory, and they're like, now do a plank push up, but then you do a plank on one of like on the ground, and then you take a weight and you do like this while you're in the plank.
Uh-huh.
And my hips are flying everywhere, and my shoulders popping out of the socket. I have horrible form. My butt's right up in the air. I'm piking. There's no plank, and no one's gonna say,
No
"Hey,
one's.
you're bad
Laissez-faire.
form."
Oh.
You're just on your own.
You gotta
And
pay for
it's
that,
better
Nikki.
than nothing. Like it's certainly better to have bad form and to do the exercise than to do nothing. But I cannot be held accountable to have good form. And that is why I'm sending my mom to personal training 3 times a week. I just got her, my dad and her, a gym membership yesterday for a year. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Nikki.
And dad's
Personal trainer.
and I'm
today.
getting my mom a
Wow.
personal trainer 3 times a week because I want her to, as you
Get
get to be
strong.
an elderly woman, you need to have muscle or you're going to
Yeah.
die.
I know.
Your bones
so-
are deteriorating.
Yes.
At a
Yeah.
higher
So
rate.
you need muscle. So my mom's going to go to a trainer, and she keeps saying, "Can't I just go a couple times and they teach me the ropes?" And I go, "No, because you won't
You won't
You
go
won't
back.
stick to it. Your form will
I
suck.
will though. I don't want you wasting
No, but
money.
you'll stick to, you'll do the exercises, but your form will be bad unless you have someone watching you.
No,
I
I
just know
do
it.
need to know how to do this.
Brian, do you agree? Like, how do you work out on your own? And I know that most people can't afford what I'm talking about, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to have someone monitoring
You
my body
are.
every second.
Oh my!
But what do you have trouble keeping good form when you're doing your stuff? How do you stay up with it?
Well, I just want to say, if wasting money is the concern, then think about all the money that'll be wasted when you need to get one of those chairs installed on your staircase that automatically goes
Thank
up,
you,
Right.
Brian.
or someone to
Thank
help
you.
you bring the groceries in.
Or a
That's
Who's
gonna
gonna
toilet
pay for
in my
that?
next to my bed. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
that's going to
Totally.
be a decade of saved money if you just work out.
I do know that, and
My
Nikki
mom always
is so
says,
sweet.
I always say to her, she goes, "It's too much money," and I go, I would give up 90% of my income if it meant you were going to live 10 more years.
Is that the
I would.
sweetest thing?
But who
Nikki,
wouldn't do that for their mom to keep their mom
I
around
don't
if they like
know.
their mom?
I
And
don't know.
You're good on the podcast. That means something.
God.
But I would. So,
No,
like,
that is
so this
it's
is not
over
even
the
close
top
to 90.
sweet.
It's not even
Yeah, 90%.
0.9%
And
of
I
my
would
income.
definitely,
I'm gonna make you
without a
proud.
doubt, I would definitely give up $500 to keep my mom alive for 10
No,
more
I
years.
mean, like, I would.
Yeah.
If I
It's
could
gonna be
still
more than that,
survive
Brian.
comfortably, I would give up all my money to save my parents, to have my parents around 10 more years, and that is what
That
having
is
them
unbelievable.
do strength exercises will do.
Well, I'm really excited
So you
because
have to look at
I
it like
need
that.
some upper body strength for sure. I'm really
But this doesn't mean you should be lifting anything. I don't want you to get.
No.
I still want you to hire people to lift things for you. That's another thing. I
well,
need to do a
can't move. Heavy.
I need you to get you a
furniture.
gift certificate to Craigslist
To a
for
movers.
men to just come over and pick up things for you.
That could save you a bunch of money.
Nikki, I can do it. I'm not paying that guy $50 to come over here and
50?
hang this. I can do this. Brian, how do you keep form on when you do your Tom Brady workouts?
Well, I worked at a gym when I was in high school, and I went to see personal trainers sometimes. So I feel like obviously it's not like Pilates, but I feel like I'm pretty good at looking in the mirror and assessing my own form as I go.
Yeah, you probably are. Yeah.
But it's not perfect, and even if you know what your correct form is, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it right.
Well, I felt
you're lazy.
now Instagram's serving up all of these reels of girls with amazing asses teaching me how to do the Russian squat or whatever it is to
Oh.
get the best butt.
Okay.
Because there's like so many different muscles in your butt, and to get the ones that lift your butt, you have to do these really weird exercises where you put one foot up and then I don't even understand it, but they all criticize each other about like the form and the form. And they go, look at this form. This is not right. Now this is the right form, and
Don't get involved with
I
those
could
people.
never tell the difference between these two things,
Not kidding.
and it's so
Especially Russians.
counterintuitive.
Yeah, there are
Oh, yeah.
people who don't even agree on what the right form is.
Yeah, they
And-
can't
there's
agree
a
on it.
lot.
yeah.
There's girls everywhere, and I think the right form is filling out a form at a med spa where you get things injected into your
Yeah.
ass to make
Or
it that
sucked
big,
out.
or sucked out of your stomach and then put in your butt. Not everyone's doing it, but like it just would never occur to me that some of the stuff you just have to tense your whole body all the time.
My God.
I've
That's
talked about it
painful.
enough. I'm just
No,
it's
but
just-
I'm so
it's my
excited
life right now.
I'm so excited about going today.
Yeah, but if you want community, join Orange Theory.
Okay.
I did run a 7:39 mile, which I was really proud of because I haven't run in
Wow.
forever. It's
That's
not
pretty
bad.
good.
Was that
Seven
more
what?
than everyone?
Really good.
No, there was a guy that ran like a 6:20 something,
A
Well-
7 what?
7:39.
Whoa.
Yeah. And there was shout out to the girl who's an instructor there that was like helping me throughout the whole class and telling me what to do because I could not understand what the next step was. And then I started going rogue and doing my own thing. So they wanted me to go back to the rower, but I was like, the rower doesn't make sense to me. I have bad form. I know I do. I'm never going to get this. So I'm just going to stay on the treadmill and do my own thing. And then at the end, we were all stretching and I just didn't feel like being on the ground. It just felt dirty to me. So I just left early and, and they did say, we're going to all get a picture afterwards. And I ducked
God.
out of that picture.
They wanted
But there was a
one.
part of me that did want to be in the picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
What good is that picture?
But it's no good. But it's what it does is it makes people feel like they're a part of something. We just accomplished this thing. Like when you go into the class, you high five the guy on the way
Wait,
in.
do they do it every class?
I don't know. It was a special
Or
day.
was it
They were like,
Nikki
you came on a
Glaser
special
in the
day.
house?
No.
Oh, okay.
They did it. I saw them take a picture in the class before mine.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
It's like a sticker that you get at the end, like
Yeah,
an
it's
achievement sticker.
Little star.
It does feel good when you look up and you see all your stats, but I gotta say, I kind of know what calories are and like how you burn them and how much you're burning, and I
Right,
think their
how much
their
effort.
numbers are a little
Oh.
wonky.
They
It's kind of
inflate
like
the
a
numbers?
skinny mirror.
Are they
you know?
on the low
Ah.
end or
No, they're trying to make you feel like you did
Yeah,
wrong.
you burned 1,200 calories by taking our class.
Yeah, I saw a couple
Right.
people in the class before me burn like 800 calories, and I go, no, were they here for 3 hours
oh
Yeah.
wow.
nonstop? Like
Wow.
I call BS on that, but I do.
It's still a good workout.
It was fun. Will
Yeah.
I be back? No, because I don't.
I always
don't-
wondered if you'd go there because it's so cool.
Well, I don't think I'll be back because I just felt too sloppy in my own workout.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm going to get injured. But I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it would be good for someone. It would be good for. I just know too much now, and that's no disrespect to anyone who's going. I
Right.
think it
Oh.
actually is a really
Uh-oh.
fun thing to do.
No.
We got Pilates snob coming.
I know.
Oh.
Orange Theory is just a little too laissez-faire for me.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I just can't be trusted. I have bad posture. I've got really flexible joints. Things are just willy-nilly. I've got no ass. And if you try to make me work my ass, every other muscle in my body will start working before that ass.
Wow.
Like I don't even know what my ass muscle feels like. Like I don't even know how to clench it. It's
When you
so
do
atrophied.
damn.
a squat, you can't feel your butt.
I feel like the sides of my butt, but that inner up the rear butt
Oh,
part. No,
okay.
like now I can feel it because I've done.
Pilates.
Yeah, but
And you
before
know the
I had
feeling.
no fucking clue.
Huh.
And yeah, it's just like I'm not really in touch with my feelings in my body.
Gotcha.
Like that's why I was going to this somatic therapist lady for a while to be like, how does that feel in your body? And I'd go, I don't know. What, people feel things in their body when they're angry? Where?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
What do you feel when you're like feeling angry? Do you feel it? Oh, Noah's
Yeah.
pointing to her solar
Chest.
plexus.
that's where
Yeah.
I feel mine too.
What? Wait,
Chest,
what?
And then
You
I get
feel
a
anger?
rush in my face.
Are you
Yeah.
And
kidding?
a rush in your face.
And my,
What? Like, so when you get angry,
I think that's where it all goes. Right in here.
It heats up.
Interesting.
It's like a heater, furnace.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, and also my head a little bit. Like I'll get a little like foggy in the head, and I'll get in the chest tightness, and yeah, blood pressure's going
Yeah.
up. That's what that means.
Dude, I am like this girl, Heidi Plebe, who
Uh-oh.
I've been following on YouTube, who I talked about last week. I'm not joking you. If you're interested in self-help and getting better and fixing the things about you that are like undercurrents that are kind of fucking up your life in pattern ways, she is unlocking some shit. Last night I listened to this talk. Get this. Okay.
Do you have to subscribe to her?
No. It's all. I mean, you probably don't have YouTube Premium, so you're gonna watch some ads, but that's
No,
fine.
I have YouTube.
There's ads for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's free, but you just gotta watch ads.
Got it. Okay.
So there's this thing called limerence. Do you guys know what limerence is?
I've heard that word. I don't remember what it means.
Isn't that
It's
a catchy little?
Blowing my mind. What, a limerick?
It's just gonna be funny.
Yes.
I saw it. Sorry, I didn't let you finish your joke. Limerence is when it's an obsessive. It's usually romantic, a romantic feeling, but it doesn't have to be. And it's when you have like an obsessive desire to win over, or like you're in love. It feels like being in love. It feels like the beginning of a relationship. Like think Pete Davidson, Ariana Grande, like all obsessed with each other, all over each other.
Isn't that
This
just like infatuation?
unsustainable
The honeymoon
obsession.
phase?
Yeah, but a lot of times people have it when the other person doesn't reciprocate. So it's like
Okay.
before you eat, like you might have a crush on someone. It feels like a crush, but the difference between a crush and limerence, from what she says, is the obsessiveness. So if you're someone like me, who if you have a crush on someone, you like to like close your eyes and think about what it would be like to be with them, and like you like let your mind you if you are stuck in fantasy about anyone, either romantically or like how a job is gonna go, or how, oh my god, I'm getting to see my parents this weekend, how our weekend is gonna go, and it never ends up matching what you imagine it to be, and you kind of get high on this kind of supply of fantasizing. If you relate to this, which I so relate to this so much, one of my favorite things is when I would used to have a crush when I was single,
Yes.
and I would see the potential, and I would just go on a plane. My favorite thing would be being on a plane, listening to music that made me think about that crush, and then thinking about things that were going to happen in our
You're already
relationship.
married. Like, and
Yes.
just because you had a good interaction.
Yeah, like not yes, and
Oh,
married,
yeah.
but not. I wouldn't even go that far. I would go to like when he finally decides to show up at my door, and then what
Right.
that looks like, and then we go to dinner after that, and then after that we go and we watch a movie, like, and just thinking of the warmth that I would feel inside that this person is so perfect for me, and we're getting along in all these ways that I've never even gotten along with someone before, and it never ever matches up because there's no one like that. Out there. Well, what it does is which I did not know. I always just thought it's fantasy. Like, I know it's fantasy. I know that I'm exaggerating this person's personality to be perfect. But what it does is it makes it so you can never really have a good relationship with that person, because when you are with them, you will always be disappointed. You are always waiting for this other person to show up. You cannot be present with them because you're actually you end up, she even talks about in a relationship she was in, she had so much limerence for this person. She had fantasized about what they would be like. When she would be around him, she would be so disappointed that she would like, couldn't wait till it was over and she could go back to her fantasy of him. So she couldn't even enjoy being with him because she was like enjoying the fantasy part of it more, but she needed to keep seeing him in order to keep the fantasy going. So we do this a lot, not even just in like romantic relationships. We even do it with what you're supposed to do so you don't have limerence, which is just you
don't want
telling
this?
a lie about yourself. Yeah, you don't want limerence because it sets you up for failure.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
it makes it so you don't actually ever hear that person. And really, love is understanding and understanding is love. So if you don't ever put yourself in a position to understand someone else's point of view, or you don't try to like just accept them for who they are, and you're always envisioning this version of them in your head that is so perfect, you are going to fail them. They will not feel seen. They will withdraw, and they will not be attracted to you. You won't get what you want because people have done it to you probably. I was thinking, oh my God, people have done this to me before, where I get to know a guy who I can tell has had a lot of fantasies about me in his head. And then I feel like, oh my God, I can't live up to this. I start to feel that way. Then I get insecure. But then I always walk away from it being like, man, they just want it. I'm not as good as I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough for them.
Because they seem to think I'm
wow.
something else. And then, so you're doing that to people if you ever fantasize. So I have had to stop these little trips I take in my head almost on a dime, and not even romantically. I mean, like, I've been doing some visualization about this big thing I have coming up where I'm like, I imagine myself fucking killing and that's different because because I struggle with, okay, what's manifestation and then what's fantasy? Why are those different? Because manifesting is like living as if it already happened.
Oh.
And I think the difference is that manifestation feels awkward and fantasy feels real good. So for me to fantasize about me killing it at this thing feels really awkward to me, but I'm doing it because I know if it's hard to do, it's probably good. If it feels easy and soothing and you get a dopamine hit and you feel this relaxation down your spine, it's probably not good.
Wow.
And so,
Right.
the thing that she talked about that blew my mind was that if stop presenting to people, so to not set up people to disappoint you and to feel disappointing because of what you expect from them. Never tell them thank you for something they didn't do. Only speak from a place of what you can judge. So, Mom, if I came to you and I was crying about something going on in my life and you sat and listened, I should not say to you, thank you so much for being there for me and really understanding what I'm going through. That is me assuming
that I do.
that you understood it. All I can thank you for is thank you for coming over to my apartment and looking at me when I talked.
And listening, though.
But I don't even know if you were listening.
Oh,
Unless
see.
I have actual evidence that you listened.
Gotcha.
You can't, because that is setting me up to assume something about you and live in this limerence of like, my mom and I had this, like, I can say it felt really good that you were here and that I perceived you as listening to me, because that's my truth. It's like you could only talk from a place of what you experience. But that blew my mind that you can't just like tell people like, thank you so much for being such a good friend. They might not be such a good friend. They might just feel obligated to do that because you moved them into their house last week. So they're just fulfilling an obligation. They might not just be doing this out of being a good friend. You have to let them say, so you can't, this will help your life to address the world as you observe it and not as or as you are experiencing it in facts that someone in the court of law could be like, okay, yes, all we have proof of is that Julie came over and looked at her and appeared to be listening,
Right.
but she just sat there and looked at her and said, uh-huh, wow after everything, but it doesn't. We don't know. So you have to live in this world where you're kind of telling yourself the truth all the time about things. What do you think?
I think that it sounds like
Impossible.
yeah, it sounds really difficult.
That's what she says. It literally is impossible to do
Yeah,
because we are projecting our experience onto other things constantly, and we don't even know it.
we just want it to be lovely, and we want it to be like she is a good friend.
Yes.
We just assume it.
But what you're doing is you're saying that she's a good friend, and then if that's not her experience,
But
she
she's
feels like,
we
oh
don't know
no,
if she
now
is.
how many times have you been told, Julie, you're such a good friend, and you think, I don't even like this woman?
Of course.
That,
No.
well, you might like her more if she said, thank you for showing up, Julie, and
Yeah.
didn't say, thank you for being a good friend.
Wow, I like that.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks
Yeah.
for showing up today.
The
and helping,
effort to make.
Thanks
get
for
there.
helping me move this stove.
Yeah.
As opposed to thanks for being such
Not
a good friend.
doing it anymore,
Thanks for
though.
loving me so much. And you go, I don't love you at all, bitch. Like that drives you away from her as
Yeah.
opposed to you might become closer to someone who just is calling out the things as they are and as you experience them too. Just saying facts. I liked it. It was radical.
Interesting. Yeah.
Heidi Plebe, if you want to check out what I'm talking about and actually hear a smart person discuss it, it's her video on Limerence, Limerence. She's brilliant. I'm obsessed with her.
Wow.
We'll be back. So we are back on tour, Brian and I, this weekend. Coming up,
Hell yeah.
Gary, Indiana, Friday
All right,
night.
back in Indiana, finally.
Yes.
I haven't been
can't-
back in Indiana in a long time. I mean, this is technically not really even Indiana. Gary is basically
it's
Chicago.
Chicago-y.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
That's where Michael Jackson's from.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see his boyhood home. You too.
Yeah, where so many great things happen for
A
him.
lot of things good happened there. Sure. We know better by now.
Just the word boyhood and Michael Jackson don't really go well together, but
Yeah, poor kid.
yeah, poor kid. Poor thing what he went through.
Aren't you
Yeah,
going
what
to Cincinnati?
Yes, Cincinnati on Saturday, and then my mom and dad will also be there. So if you want to
Yeah.
see Jules and Age,
Oh.
come
Show
see us in
up.
Cincinnati at the Hard Rock live. So we've got Gary, Indiana Friday night.
Yes.
Saturday-
Gary, Indiana. You know, there's a song about
Yeah.
Gary, Indiana.
Now I do.
It's from,
Don't tell me what I know.
I know you don't know that.
Heidi Plebe.
Heidi. No, Cincinnati's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. And I love staying at these Hard Rock casinos.
Really?
Yeah, because like everything's Hard Rock, everything's like themed.
Oh.
You were there at
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, was that the one we got
Is it
the
like
lobster dinner?
Yeah, you were like, we're getting
Oh,
lobster,
God.
surf and turf, baby, which you can't do anymore.
I can't do that anymore.
Mom's a pescatarian. Oh, I guess you could still get the lobster.
Yeah, I had lobster the other night.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm not giving
How'd you
it
get
up.
to? Was that on sale at Aldi?
That was at Aldi's. You
I was
could
gonna
buy
say, how
a
the
frozen whole lobster for $10.99.
I was at the Hard Rock in Florida this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. I went to the
Um, Oh.
casino and I got fleeced at the blackjack table. I am not happy about Hard Rock
Brian,
so far.
what are we doing with the gambling? Where are we at? Because
Sometimes
between
I have-
you and me and everyone listening, you were doubting if you should be doing this anymore.
No, it's bad for my health. And I do sometimes have limerence with gambling where I place a bet and then I just feel like I already
fantasize.
won the bet.
Yes,
And so I go,
that's
well, I
what you
already
got to
have
do.
the $200, so let me make more bets based on the fact that I already won this bet that I placed and isn't
Haven't
even
won
finished
yet.
yet. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Sometimes that happens.
I'm going
In
to
sports
gamble.
it works, but no, blackjack is a loser's game. The goal in blackjack is to just try to lose as slowly as possible.
Yeah.
The goal
Good
is like,
advice.
okay, I sat here for 2 hours and lost all my money instead of losing all my money in 10 minutes. And that's
Right.
nice. But
Okay.
bad for your health. No, I feel like I have an enlarged aortic root, which is like a heart condition I was born with. And I feel like today I'm getting my heart scanned. I get my heart scanned every year to see if my root has grown. And I'm worried because all the gambling, it makes your blood pressure go up. It puts you in this stress level. It makes your heart rate go up. And I've been gambling so much lately that I'm a little worried about my latest scan.
Well, sending
and so-
good vibes.
Yeah. Well, God, that's what you were saying to me. That you were like, I have a heart condition. I don't think 4 hours of being tense about
Yes.
this basketball game.
Because I thought there was no downside to
overseas.
gambling on sports because I always win. But there is a downside, and it's just not financial. It takes away
health.
your time, your health, your
Oh,
mental, your mental state. It takes away all those things. So every time I said there's no downside to gambling, even though I was being facetious and flip about it, I did believe it, and now I realize I've changed my mind. There is a downside to gambling.
Oh,
It
good.
could kill you, ruin your life and your relationships, and waste all your time.
Yeah, that's why. Final thought. That's why when you check into it, like a Hard Rock hotel,
Why don't they give you free gambling money?
well, it's.
That's something they should think
I was
about.
going to say that's a dumb question, but I guess that's me putting too much of my feelings.
They actually
onto it.
do
That's a
give away
question.
money to if you belong to these clubs or
Yes.
something.
Well, that's Spade's joke about like he goes to. It's my favorite joke. By the way, Spade and I are going to be in Vegas at the Venetian in May. And then also another date throughout the year, but you should come out and see that show for sure. But he has this great joke about his buddy's like, man, I go to Vegas all the time. I'm a big roller. They fly me out, comped, and he goes, oh, really? That $75 Southwest flight? And they go, yeah, you got to roll with me. I'm a big roller. Then ground transportation to and from the hotel. Oh, that 4-minute car ride. And he keeps like poking holes and like the casinos know what they're doing. They're not just giving. They
Oh,
never give
They
away
get that
money.
money
No.
back in 10
Yeah,
minutes.
but yeah, it's a problem. It's so funny that there are signs of like, do you have a problem gambling all over
All over.
casinos?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
just
almost
it's
a
like
way
the
to get
Surgeon
you to be
General's
like-
warning on cigarettes.
It's almost a way to get you to be like, well, if they're putting out all these warnings, then I don't. But that means I don't probably have it. They probably would
Yeah.
know if I had a problem, and someone would stop me. That's
Thank
why
God
they're
that's
putting.
not me.
Yeah. The
Right.
signs just make you feel like you don't have a problem.
Okay, maybe, but like it's just such a. They're really worried about you.
Yeah.
They really want you to get help if you have a problem
In
gambling.
those signs in the casino.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
casino. It's just so
They care.
stupid that we.
I think it's a
believe
law.
that they give a
They
shit.
have to put those.
It's just for
Yeah,
insurance.
of course.
They
yeah,
they're-
absolutely.
The sign should just say, like, "Are you a loser? Are you a loser? Or
Wait,
you, like it's a bully in middle school?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
it's
right,
Are you
like
right.
a bully in
loser?
middle school, and like you're walking
Yes.
around, like
Really
no one who
good
actually
one.
has a gambling problem is going to be like, "Oh wait, that sign asked me if I had a gambling problem, and I do." No one's going to admit that. They're going to feel like it's an
know.
attack on their. It's like asking an older man, if they need a colonoscopy or something. It's like, well, I don't need a colonoscopy. I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know if that
The
tracks
kid-
for me, but I'm glad it did for you.
Let's just confuse Nikki in this segment.
I would.
Yeah,
You're lucky you don't even care about gambling.
I'm lucky I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
It just feels so bad to lose.
oh, it's a terrible
money.
feeling. Yeah.
It's like a hangover.
yeah.
Like I quit drinking not because of the drinking part, but because of the hangover.
Gotcha.
I quit. I was recalling the other day to my friend about because she like loves candy and has a problem sometimes with eating too much of it. And she was going buck wild after Valentine's Day because she bought a bunch of candy hearts and that
The
those used to be-
markdown ones.
Yeah, you know it. The ones that say "I love you." Yeah. So
Smeared.
yeah, she went buck wild on some, and I was like, "Girl, I've been there. Like, I know candy hearts are a thing that some people don't really go hard on, but man, they are my that chalkiness when they're a little stale too. I like
Really?
them. I love them, and so, but I don't do them anymore because I went so hard one year. I got a whole bag, like like a big bag that you would like a bulk bag, and I ate them all. And I got a hangover from them. And I hadn't drank for years and years. So it was the first time I had felt that like
A sugar
searing headache the next day.
hangover.
Sick, but like couldn't look up straight because my head hurt so much.
Oh my God.
And it was from all the sugar, and I really can't even touch them anymore because it's just, I'm so scared of that feeling. So for me, if my body gives me a searing headache as a result of something, I will quit it on the spot.
Wow.
And I wish that we would
It'll
do
be easy.
I would love if it gave me more headaches for
Oh.
things
Yeah.
because I would quit things.
Mhm.
But when until it gets to that point, me keep going. But yeah, like I've overdone it on those, and
Sometimes
I,
psychosomatic reactions benefit you. Like I have a reaction to high fructose corn syrup that I know is psychosomatic. It gives me brain fog whenever I have, and even if I don't know that it has it in there, if I just
well, then
eat a
it's
can,
not psychosomatic.
It is. My body, I guess, just knows. I don't know how, but
Because isn't psychosomatic when you oh no.
I don't
Wait,
even know
you
how my
gotta
body
know it.
does it, but I get brain fog whenever I eat high fructose corn syrup in anything, even if it's like I find out after I ate it that I'd had it. I'm like, oh
So
yeah,
you,
that's
like
why.
you're just like
You look at the label
you can't,
after
like
you eat it.
remember what you're talking about. Like you seem like a stoner. Like what's brain fog? to
Brain
you?
fog, yeah, it's like you just feel out of it. It's like being when you get like 4
in
hours
London
of sleep.
in your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do Wordle. I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh,
No,
that's a good indication.
Yeah, when you can't do the Wordle. No, you know how you have 4 hours of sleep and then you're just sluggish and slow and you can't think and nothing's coming to you.
Yes.
You get
That's
a sugar
what brain
bomb.
fog is.
Okay. Yeah.
But because of that, I have not eaten anything with high fructose corn syrup in like 10, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's in everything. It's in
I
the
just avoid
drinking
it.
That's
water.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, on
Amazing.
purpose. Sometimes it happens by accident.
I want that. I want
But
to do that.
I could do all the work that it takes to like train on high fructose corn syrup and do exposure therapy and get it back so that I don't have
Yeah.
a reaction to it. But what's the point?
What's the
Why
point?
not just
it's not
utilize
good for you.
Exactly. It's just like, okay.
Yeah,
Bad.
that's really good. I can't fall asleep without a sleep mask on.
I
I've
wish I
trained
could
my
sleep
brain to do that, but now because I like it, because when I do have a sleep mask on, my body knows it's time to go to sleep.
You can
But
shut
if I
down.
don't have one, I have to wrap a towel around my head or something. I have to like makeshift one, and that's not great. So I always carry like 5 on me at a time, just in
Wow.
case I lose
Wow.
them.
Wow.
But they are so there's certain things that my body is like learned. It's time.
You're
That's
like
good.
a little
That's just
baby.
good sleep habits.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Although I've been waking up a lot recently and just like with anxiety in the middle of the night.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got a lot on your plate.
I do have a lot on my plate, but I've been like kind of loving my life recently. I go on the road on the weekends. I work hard. I play. I don't even play hard. I just work hard doing the
rest hard.
shows. And then we get to hang out with friends, and then we drive to the next venue and you travel all day. And
Yeah.
then I get 1 day off a week, which is perfect. And that day I am flying. And so some people would go, Nikki, that's not a day off. You need to be ecstatic. But to me, flying is a day off because no one can get you. And on your day off, you have to go to the grocery store and you have to meal plan and you've got to go to Home Goods and pick up, stuff for your pots on your front porch.
Don't
I don't
speak
got to
ill
do
of Home
shit because
Goods.
I'm flying Southwest through 3 different cities. And so there's nothing I can do.
You're the only one that feels
That's
that
my
way.
favorite day off.
I
No,
guarantee-
well, because in our house, day off equals got to go hiking.
Oh, that's true.
You got to go see bald eagles out in southern Illinois.
That's true.
I don't want to go do that shit. That's what days off mean to people, and I want to be in the air.
Where no
I want
one
to be
can
above the
control you.
eagles. Yes.
You're controlled by the airplane, but
Yeah.
you are not controlled
And then
by
all
it.
week, I'm just doing voice lesson, podcast, Pilates, Orange Theory, here and there. And by here and there, I mean one time, never going back. Getting coffee, writing music. It's
Botox?
Hey, don't call me out. I am all stuck up today. I got Botox. I was going to get filler. I opted out. Ladies, if you need someone to encourage you not to get filler, I was about to get it today in my lips. And then I texted Anya and I go, did you get filler last time you went? And she was like, no, I haven't gotten filler for years. And I was like, and then my lips are numb, right? Because they put the numbing cream on because they're going to poke you in the face with it. And I went out to the lobby and I go, I don't want to get filler anymore. They were like, okay, let's wipe it off. And I felt so bad, but they were so nice about it. Shout out to Jen at Frontenac. So I just got a bunch of Botox.
Nice.
Not even a bunch, just a little bit.
Yes.
And
I only know because I picked you up there.
yeah. And Anya said, I think you're just going through something emotionally. Because she was like, why do you need it? And I was like, I just want something different on my face. Like, I just want to look at something different. I'm tired of seeing pictures of me. I want to look something. And she was like, I think you maybe just need to like calm down on
Maybe
this.
you just need to go there and then say hi and walk out and feel like, oh, I've been there.
I did get a facial too, and it was amazing.
Oh.
A hydrofacial.
It looks good.
It was so good. I'm very happy. But yeah, if you want to go on the YouTube right now and see me be stung up, I got Botox, but it will not show up for 11 to 14 days. So see the results in 2 weeks. I'll see you there on YouTube. Thank you for listening to the show today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be in Gary, Indiana and Cincinnati, Ohio this weekend, Friday and Saturday with Brian Frangie and Anya Marina. Get tickets at nikkiglaser.com. Don't be care and bye.